So these are the leaves that we've just painted, and you can see by using the golden leaf brush you get this lovely diffused look. It's wonderful if you use really pale colours. You can use these for backgrounds and then add more leaves on the top. So it's a very, very good technique. Now that that's dry, I'm going to just tuck that under there and we're going to add a bud. So I'm going to work here and I'm going to introduce another colour, Wild Rose. Wild Rose is a beautiful pink colour. I'm going to use the pyramid brush, a different one, the same brush but a different brush. Now with the pink, it's a really vibrant, bright pink. And for this rose, I think I'm going to add a little bit of the cadmium red as well, just so it's not quite as bright. And I'm just going to press the brush into the paper. So just something like that. And then I'm just going to leave it, come back with my pyramid brush into the country olive, the tip of my brush into the midnight green. And I want to give the impression that this bud is just being hugged by these leaves. It's just catching it. So I'm using the point of the brush and then pressing. And then we've got a lovely little section here. So how easy, we've got a bud. Now, what I've also done is I've painted what I'd call a slightly more realistic rose shape. So rather than just flat leaves, these ones are a little bit more wonky, a little bit more shape to them. I'm going to add a little bit more water, a little bit more of the dark midnight green, and exactly the same as we did before, using the pyramid brush. And I'm just going to create a few little jaggedy edges here. So just lift the brush a couple of times so you get a few little jaggedy edges, and then leave it. So you get the merging of the two colours on the paper. I just love this. And I'm deliberately making the brush, I'm making thinner and thicker lines with the brush because I want the leaves to look, kind of dynamic really. I'm going to go straight over that stem. I can always touch that up later, change it. Another little leaf here. And this is kind of like a wonky shape. And I like that. I don't want them to look all the same size and the same shape. So just, yeah, I like that. So straight away, those are lovely. I like the way you're getting this mottled effect. And I am going to use my palette knife and just get a few little light veins. I like this effect. You don't need to put it in. You know, you can just leave the leaves as they are without putting any light veins in. I quite like it. Okay, and then whilst it's wet, I'm going to come back with the golden leaf brush again. Open the brush out. Don't want too much water going on, but I do need enough to just make that a little bit soft. I do like that, and I'm going to do the same with the bud. So if you transfer some, you can either clean it up with a brush like this, or you can leave that. I quite like that. That's going to be nice. I like that. And I'm going to enhance that. Touch it there. What I'm also going to do is just stipple here so that when I put that leaf on, it's going to look like it's soft focus. So I'm just going to do a little bit more stippling here. And then straight away I'm going to come in with these leaves. So back to using the pyramid brush. Dipped in, so country olive is the main colour, filling the brush, midnight green on the end. I'm going to start with this leaf so I just get the feel of it, how much paint there is in the brush. Just jiggle it a little bit so you get kind of an ununiform shape. And then this is the section that's slightly damp. And this is going to look a little bit wetter, a little bit soft focus. Some of that might escape into the background, which I quite like. And it doesn't matter which direction you use the brush, whether you start at the point or from the stem, it's whichever you prefer. You get a different effect each time. So I quite like it when you've got a little nibbled bit like this on the end. So do you see here, we put it on the damp background and you get a different effect here from if you put the water on top of the leaves later on. Now with this example, I'm not going to dampen this at all. So these leaves have gone on the dry paper. these leaves have gone on dry paper, and then I've stippled on the top with a golden leaf brush to get these fabulous effects. I just love those effects. And this is just so much more interesting than if I just placed it on the paper. And then these leaves have gone on the dry paper, this on the damp paper. So you've got this lovely effect. Very, very simple. So I've used my pyramid brush and the Terry Harrison golden leaf brush. So those are the two brushes I've used. Really simple technique, just the two brushes, and just 3-4 colours. Ever so simple. Have a go.